Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow here with a video that's been widely requested for some time now. And you have to excuse my appearance. I'm tired. I need a haircut. It's been a long day. It's been a long Monday. You're going to be watching this on Tuesday morning, as that's what I'm scheduling this for. And I really wanted to do something special for this video because I wanted to do kind of a pre-recorded, edited with lots of flash and trash and cool stuff. And quite frankly, I just don't have the time. So you'll just have to settle for good data. Now, I want to preface this video by, of course, saying, in addition to the disclaimer running below, that I'm not a licensed financial advisor. You know the drill. The fact that everybody has to say this at every video, at every turn is crazy, but I've got it everywhere. I've got every disclaimer you could possibly think of everywhere. I'm just an idiot on the internet. I'm nobody special. I just read a lot. Okay? Don't take my advice as investment advice because it's not what it is. I'm not offering sale of securities or anything of that nature. I don't have securities to sell you. Hell, nobody even knows what the hell security is in this space. But outside of all that, never invest more than you can afford to lose, no matter what anybody says, and don't ever trade on anything that any YouTuber says, period. I don't care how popular or crazy cool they are. So I guess I don't have to worry about you doing any of that stuff watching me, so let's get on to the video. Looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's been dropping just a little bit. The entire market has for the most part, which is fine. We're still above this main support line, and as long as we stay above that, I'm not too worried. We could see it drop down to as low as 8,300 though moving forward, but that's just based off a lot of other TA guys and what they're saying. In the market, the way it's been, where it's at, what's going on, I don't really see us dropping down to here. That would be a little silly, but anything is possible, so be on the lookout in case that were to take place. If it does, again, it's just a temporary thing. I mean, look, we're a matter of a couple of months before the halving. Whatever happens here is going to reverse. I definitely see us pumping quite a bit prior to us reaching the halving point, maybe even a little after, at which point a lot of people are going to start taking profits wherever we end up. I'm still looking for a $14,000 halving price, but that's just me. I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter because I accumulate. I buy, I hold, I lock it away, I forget about it. And that's just the way I roll. But today we're going to be talking about ChainLink. Is this a dud? Is this a bad project? Is this a good project? What does it mean? Now, in 2017, 2018, even 2019 for that matter, once regulation started setting in and cryptocurrency projects basically started just scurrying away, and a lot of these blockchain ICO companies were watching their capital reserves dwindle because they held the Ethereum as believers in the crypto space. A lot of people just didn't see, even though the writing's been on the wall, many of us did not see such a significant drop in what I would consider pretty long bear market. And because of that, it's caused a lot of projects to fall apart, or at least bury their heads in the sand until their Ethereum has risen back up, to original all-time highs, and they're able to get back to work, which is one of the reasons why I've been saving some judgment on some projects that I invested in, even that have fallen, they've gone down with everything else in the market, but they're a little slow. The question is, how much capital do these companies actually still have in their coffers to work with and continue development, to start hiring back, developers and team leaders and all this sort of stuff. But in the midst of all of that, I kind of shied away from looking at ICO projects. And although I heard about ChainLink and I've been familiar with ChainLink's existence, I never bothered to look into it because I thought, you know what? I'm going to let the market just get itself situated. I want regulation to try and settle in. I want all of the big changes that have been going on in the space to kind of transpire and either open an avenue for me to dive back in with a much clearer head, or just see what rises and falls. And there's been a lot of interest in ChainLink for a multitude of reasons, and I never understood until recently why. So first I'm going to start by saying its original ICO price was 11 cents. I could jump off a bridge for missing this one, folks. The more I read about ChainLink the more I understand its technology and what it's going to open up, the more I really, 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 really regret missing out on this project. In a sea of thousands, it's really difficult to find out and learn and understand each and every one of them. ICO price of 11 cents. It's already hit $4.83 and down to $3.85 with the market. Now, basically what this project is overall, up 842% just this year alone. I think its total gains are like 2,000 something percent. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. I think it's like 2,600% since ICO. Okay. Now, and I've got some predictions here on this project as well that I'm gonna kind of explain towards the end, and I'm gonna try not to make this video too long. I'm already almost 6 minutes in. But ultimately, what this project does, what ChainLink is all about, is enabling basically any off-chain data to be distributed and utilized in smart contracts on the blockchain using a decentralized Oracle network. And so basically, so in other words, if you're developing for a smart contract yourself, you can create smart contracts, but where that data comes from is typically within the blockchain, within what's programmed into the smart contract directly. And ultimately what ChainLink is doing is they're saying, look, you can take any API, any data source, though from what I've gathered, I don't really understand exactly how they're going to be bringing in analog data, right? But for the most part, if it's digital, if it's an API, if it's some sort of, it could be an aggregated stream of, it could be just about anything. And these Oracle networks are basically, it's basically like establishing multiple points of failure. Okay, so you could have one Oracle server, put in like an API data for just about anything. It could be, hell, you could be opening a restaurant. You've got an API system that's structured with, your inventory, your incoming and outgoing materials, resources, items. How many dishes do you have? How much food do you have? What's the temperature of everything? And keep track of everything. But for whatever reason, you want to utilize a blockchain. Not that there's any need for that specifically, but it's just to give you an idea, something that could happen. All that data would be piped into an Oracle server. Well, what if something happens to that Oracle server? Well, that's one point of failure that if that point of failure goes out, well, the whole system crashes. So what ChainLink is doing is they're creating an Oracle network. So you have a lot of these Oracle nodes that are pumping in this API data. If one were to fail or something were to happen to one, you still have the rest, okay? So it's creating almost a fail-safe system for API data to be entered into the blockchain, which can then be utilized in smart contracts, if this, then that, and so forth and so on. And the token itself, because that was the big question. When I was first learning a lot about this, I'm like, okay, a lot of this stuff sounds good, but what's the point of the token? How is the token utilized? Well, the token is utilized to pay these Oracle node operators almost like a mining fee kind of thing, right? It's almost like a service fee for utilizing the platform. Fair enough. So the bigger the use case in ChainLink, the more demand there's going to continue to be for these ChainLink tokens to ultimately pay for the use of this decentralized Oracle network, so that people are able to establish blockchain usage for whatever system, whatever kind of data, API, whatever it is they're doing. This opens up a huge realm for people. Now, to me, it was one thing, when I talked about Aeon and a lot of these other projects, interoperability and things of that nature. That's obviously going to be another layer of how projects like CoinLink or ChainLink can utilize other blockchains to do similar things. So interoperability is going to play a big role in technology like this. But ultimately, the ability to take just about any kind of data you want, integrate that into a smart contract, into the blockchain to achieve whatever you want in a decentralized fashion could be a significant boon for the space. I absolutely love this project. ChainLink enables your smart contracts to reach their full potential. And I'm not going to get into a lot of the stuff like the team and all that. There's a lot of stuff that I know everybody's already heard before. Like, I'm sure if you're watching this video, it's probably because you already like ChainLink and you want to know what the hell I have to say about it. I like it too. So, Sergey, obviously, he's a veteran. Steve Ellis is a veteran in the field. And initially at ICO, it was just these two guys with some advisors. Once they got capital, then they started hiring software engineers, head of operations, director of marketing, global. They started hiring people, right? Typically, it's the other way around. These guys, these projects like this are well-funded initially. They have an ICO, then the market crashes, and then you start seeing a lot of these people vanish because they can't afford, nobody can afford to pay them. So these guys are basically doing everything the opposite way. They're growing out. And the fact that these guys were working on the project 2 or 3 years before they even launched the ICO really did show that they were pretty serious about what they were building and what they were trying to accomplish. So kudos to these two. It sounds very, very promising. Now, going into some of the numbers, let me see here. I'll read this just in case. Link token usage. The ChainLink network utilizes the Link token to pay ChainLink node operators for the retrieval of data from off-chain data feeds, formatting of data into blockchain-readable formats, off-chain computation, and uptime guarantees they provide as operators. In order for a smart contract on networks like Ethereum to use a ChainLink node, they will need to pay their chosen ChainLink node operator using Link tokens, with prices being set by the node operator based on demand for the off-chain resource their ChainLink provides. I'm actually interested in looking into what it takes to launch a ChainLink node, because that to me, while obviously much different than like a proof of stake wallet or something like that, I think something like this could be extremely fruitful. Is there opportunity here to establish your own network of nodes that people are paying you in ChainLink tokens, and maybe you're marketing it as a service to new companies? There's a lot of really interesting potential here. Possibly, I don't know, but I'm very interested in diving even deeper and try to figure out what I can do. So I will be sending out some emails to better understand what sort of opportunities there might be. Because like my Cardano node, my Crow node, my staking node, I love doing that sort of stuff, and this is definitely something I plan to look into. And the supply of similar resources. The Link token is an ERC20 token. Now, this is another point. Everybody knows that I've been extremely bullish on Cardano pretty much since inception. I think it's going to do magical things. I think it's going to do a lot of different things. And I also know that Charles has made comments about ChainLink and things like that. Cardano and Oracle's external data feed into the Cardano blockchain. Basically, there's been talk about, now this was 7 months ago, there's been talk about Cardano doing something similar through Oracle nodes and Oracle networks. Now, the other side to this is, if this project were to, I don't want to go there yet. If this project were to do really well, and the demand is such that the operation of this ChainLink were to outgrow, where the hell? Oh, I was there. Okay, white paper. If that were to outgrow Ethereum scalability, and Ethereum's, if this were to really bog down the Ethereum blockchain, what are they going to do? They're going to be looking for something with higher scalability, more throughput, more, basically just the ability to grow properly. They may not be able to do that on an ERC20. Now, they may very well decide, well, they could be working on their own mainnet. I don't know all those details yet. However, the other option for them, once Shelley and Goguen launch on Cardano, is they could very well be able to migrate this, even if it were in addition to. So the way I'm looking at this, let's say it's on ERC20, and maybe they reach a certain point where they're like, you know what, we're kind of outgrowing this network as it sits today, or this blockchain. We need something else. Maybe they could either add to, migrate completely another blockchain. So they could effectively migrate ChainLink onto the card. And I'm not saying they're doing this, but I'm saying that it would be an opportunity. It would be an option for them, and one that I would assume Charles has a pretty big interest in getting situated. And I'm just throwing darts here, but there's a lot of opportunity for them to do something like this on Cardano, provided Cardano's able to, prove its scalability and its throughput and all of that, which I do believe they will. So there's just so much opportunity with this. The other side of this, I'm waiting for a competitor. I don't know of anybody that's truly competing with ChainLink right now. When they do, and there will be some, I will be very interested in however they structure themselves, who's involved in those projects. I'm not interested in any old Tom, Dick, or Harry who decides they want to launch an ICO claiming to compete with ChainLink. I don't care about that shit anymore. What I care about is some legitimate people with some legitimate accolades who are looking to step up and maybe compete with this. I want to hit this stuff in an 11-cent ICO because I missed this one. And if I can't, well, then I'm going to do what I can to acquire some ChainLink personally. Now, if I'm looking at the numbers, and we are at 16 minutes, not terribly long. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet. So if I'm looking at ChainLink's numbers, it does look like the development side is not extremely active. I mean, compared to a lot of other projects, Bitcoin Cash, 8,000 lines removed, 12,000 lines added, 404 commits, XRP. When you look at some of these competing blockchains, even Cardano, they seem to be much more active overall than ChainLink. And I don't know if I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. However, there are some metrics that I was looking at. So it's dropping a little bit. But when I was going through the price history, where am I looking at? Metrics, historical data, that's it. When I was going through this, you'll notice that February 25th, the trading volume was $11.7 million at an open price of $392. But overall, if you scroll down and you look at the trading volume and it has gradually increased in price since the beginning, basically. Okay. And what it seems is happening is the more people that find out about ChainLink and enter a position into ChainLink are holding it. They're not trying to trade it. People are buying this long term. It looks like they're buying this as a long-term hold, likely for the next 2 years until sometime around the first week of January of 2021. That's just my guess. We'll see. But it really looks promising. People are buying this and ultimately growing their positions, and they're not trading it out, which is why the price has been kind of pretty progressively growing over time. Now, as of right now, the market cap of ChainLink is only, as of I think yesterday, 0.49% of the total market cap of the cryptocurrency market. So provided they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's and they're doing what they expect to be doing, and they start bringing on more and more partnerships, which, let's face it, these guys are partnered with Swift and a lot of other groups. I mean, these guys are getting some really big partnerships in play. And I can only imagine they're going to get a lot more moving forward. Let's just say they were to acquire 2% of the total market cap, okay? At 350, I think it was 350 million total supply right now in circulation. Yeah, 350 million total circulating supply, out of a total of 1 billion. There is going to be an inflationary issue. We're talking less than half of its total supply is being circulated in the market. And there really aren't any metrics that I found yet for inflation just yet. But based off of the 350 million currently available, if ChainLink were to go and capture 2%, if it were to go from 0.49% where it is right now, and over the next year to 2 years, I would say the next year, perhaps, maybe even less, if it were to grow to just 2% of the total market cap, ChainLink could be worth about $57 a pop. Now, it's trading at $3.85. $57. I would say that's a pretty good earning opportunity. Just my opinion. So overall, I really like this project. I do think that there could be some hurdles moving forward. Again, analog data, I'd like to figure out how they're going to be implementing any of that. Because while the Oracle networks and all of that are going to keep the data safe and keep everything pumping and flowing, regardless of whether a node goes down or whatever, it really is going to depend on the accuracy of the data being, put into the system to begin with, and how that's acquired. But overall, even though I currently don't have any ChainLink, I want some, and I'm highly considering getting in a position. That's just me. I'd like to see where the market goes from here. Obviously, with Bitcoin moving down a little bit, the market taking a little dip, now is probably a pretty good time for me to get some. But above that, I want to figure out how to become a node operator. I don't want to screw around with trying to accumulate nickels and dimes. I want to set up a damn node. So on that note, that's my video for today. Overall, I'm bullish. I'd like to see a $57 ChainLink when the total market cap hits $1 trillion. And Bitcoin surpasses its original $20,000 all-time high. I expect to see ChainLink somewhere close to that mark. Maybe we even if we ended up between $45 and $55, I'd say that's a pretty good investment for a year. So on that note, thanks for joining me, guys. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. And I've got a question for you, in all sincerity. A lot of times I like to go live with my videos, and I like to talk and do my thing. And sometimes I go on rants, sometimes I go on rambles, sometimes they're not very related. But what I've noticed is a lot of other YouTubers out there, they do these really tight-knit, 8, 10 to 12-minute videos, edited with a lot of flash and trash and fun graphics and, little stock royalty video clips and things like that. Is that what you expect from me? What do you prefer? Do you prefer the videos that I've always done? Or would you like to see things a little tighter, cleaner, maybe some fun graphics thrown in for good measure, edited videos without a cough, edited videos without, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. I'm on a goal. I've set a goal for 100,000 subscribers, hopefully this year. And I really do care about what you guys have to say. I care about what you guys expect, what you think, and what you guys think I should do. So I really appreciate the comments. Subscribe, hit the alert bell, drop me a like if you will, and I appreciate you. And I will see you again real soon. Crow your coins, folks. I'll see you tomorrow.